This is going to be about shark rotator versus dust collector. And I want to make this video. This might be my last dust collector video. I'm only making 2 dust collector videos. So a shark rotator is a household vacuum cleaner. A dust collector is a tool. So first thing is, how does a shark rotate? So a shark rotator has 2 filters and a dust collector only has 1. One thing about a shark rotator, there's a good vacuum. A wife always wants a shark rotator and they use it around the house, but you can't really use a non-shark rotator, a dust collector around the house. A housewife will not want a dust collector. If you give a housewife a dust collector, they won't even want it first of all, because number one is they're a little bigger, and they might not do a really good job over the other machines like the dust collector. So dust collectors has more power to hook up machines to it, but you can't use a shark rotator in the shop. First of all, it will not work. A dust collector will work, and I think that might be a perfect idea. Shark rotator loses because dust collector has more power. If you put that carpet powder, the cleaning carpet powder, and you compare that to the dust collector, what's going to pick up more? So the shark rotator has a brush roller. It picks up all the debris, but a dust collector has nothing. You have to build your own attachment or find any accessory tools for it, and there's no attachments for them. So the shark rotator has more attachments than the dust collector. Only 1. So the only has 1 attachment. It hooks up to all your different tools, and there's probably a floor attachment too. Instead, because it's not going to pick up too much dirt, it'll pick up a lot of stuff from it until it goes for the fan. So a dust collector has so much power. The 1.5 horse or 3 horsepower on that shark rotator does not have a really good horsepower. So it's a small machine. It has a small motor. It has the carbon brushes in there. Dust collector. So a shark rotator has a DC motor. A dust collector has an AC motor, and they're big AC motors, so they have a longer lifespan than a shark rotator. How good is a shark rotator? So a shark rotator might be a good machine to actually get, and everyone wants a shark rotator. But if you have a housewife using a dust collector instead around the house, it'll pretty much do the same. It'll probably do the same thing, but here's the issue: is if you have a lot of you be carrying that whole machine around. The things are heavy, and you pick up all that pet hair. It may not pick up pet hair as well. It will probably pick it up pretty much good, but cleaning it out, you have to take your hand inside of the bag of that dust collector. There's only 1 filter too. It only has 1 filter. So any dust gets through the motor, it'll go for it doesn't go for the motor, but number one, it has a entirely closed fan cool motor. Some older versions had a open drip motor, so all the air goes through the motor. If you were to say use that for like cleaning up like pet hair, it's going for the motor. It wouldn't fry the motor, but it might get caught into where the windings are and get dirty. So it's mainly normal when there's dust inside the windings, and it might have a shorter, I don't even know. So dust collector might be a terrible machine to actually use. And I know for a fact, it might be a terrible machine for your house, because they're not really recommended for houses. They're recommended for shops. And what's going to be so here's the issue. I'm making this video kind of short because there's not really explain about like with the shop vac one, because they both have attachments. That has only 1 floor attachment for it, and it only hooks up to machines. So for the winter, it's kind of hard. Number one is attachments wise. Not shop vac. This is not a shop vac video. This is a shark rotator video versus dust collector. Shark rotator has attachments to pet to other stuff. Dust collector has no attachments. Horsepower. Shark rotator has decent power. It will lose suction. It will clog up. Dust collector has so much power. And a winner might have to be towards and I have to have one more thing about it. So the longevity. Dust collector will outlast a shark rotator, first of all. And motor will last because it's an AC motor and it's an entirely closed fan cool motor. That'll outlast a open drip proof motor because air goes right through it. If you take care of them, those motors can even last 30 years, even 40 years. They have a centrifugal switch. Next is power button. So they both have power buttons. One has a 3-prong plug. It has a short cord than the than the shark rotator. So you have to use extension cord. But hose is wide. Here, what's the winner? So apparently for me, they both tie. And just for this video, dust collector is the winner. So power and longevity and never lose suction. It never loses suction. Never does. So because it's a direct air motor, goes into a huge fan, instead it's not a bypass machine. So dust collector is the winner. That's going to be it.